I'm the living proof, having learned from you, Coach Heo, for a year. So much happened during that year, because I have many other coaches around me too. So I went through a lot of trial and error. I went elsewhere first, then came back. But they were all almost the exact opposite of you.
Almost all of them.
Almost all of them, from what I saw, when you emphasized keeping my back to the target and hitting it like this. I did that at first. But then when other coaches saw me swing, they'd ask if I was only swinging with my arms. Even on my YouTube, there were so many comments saying, this is an arms-only swing, or you shouldn't swing with just your arms. And the second thing was, why does it keep getting blocked?
Oh.
Yeah, and since they thought Coach Heo's lessons were all about keeping the back turned like this, they'd say, stop doing that. Keep turning, rotate. That was the most common advice. So in the end, I got hooks, and other coaches said it was because I was blocking and swinging only with my arms, which caused the hooks. You kept telling me, don't extend your arms here, fold them quickly, right? I tried it at first, but it didn't work, so I wondered why I had to do it. So I watched slow motion videos of other pros swinging, and not a single person had their arms bent like that. So I wondered, why is he telling me to fold them? I think average golfers think that if you don't rotate excessively, you're just swinging with your arms. They think you have to show clear hip movement like the pros to be considered a good swinger. But since I don't look like that, they say I swing with my arms, and while blocking is part of it, I think that's also why.
Getting blocked? When pros say you need to rotate a lot, there are two things. You have to do it quickly and a lot. That's good. It's not bad. And second, you have to do it correctly. Those two things. Rotating a lot doesn't mean using your body like this to force a turn, or going up, spinning your body like this to rotate a lot. That's not a good way. It obviously looks bad, right? But most people, when they think of rotating a lot, they all swing this way. I've never seen anyone who doesn't, among those who think they need to rotate a lot. My goal is also to rotate a lot. I don't want to rotate less either. I want to rotate a lot too. Then we have to think about how to do it. Okay, try rotating here. More. Keep going. How does it feel when you rotate? Hey, Rim. Anyone can see this early extension, right? You rotate like this. If you rotate before your arms get here, everyone rotates this way. Try to do it as much as possible.
I feel like I'm gonna get a cramp.
Try it. Feels like a cramp, right? You barely rotated just now, right? But look, it's not easy to rotate your body when the weight of the club head is still back here. To rotate a lot from here, okay, if you let the momentum of sending the club head through carry your body, the rotation becomes very easy. But most people who think they need to rotate, just like you did, turn their body while their arms are still back. So they extend early, which isn't a proper rotation. When that happens, look at my left armpit. It looks just like your old swing that you said was blocked. You used to do this too. So what did I always make you do? Leave your body alone and use your arms first. How was it at first when you used your arms first? You couldn't use your power at all, and your driver distance was only 160 meters. But later, as you relaxed and started using your arms, you've been saying this a lot lately. Why am I hitting it so well? You're hitting it well without knowing why, right? That's because you need to learn how to rotate with the right timing. But most people are too obsessed with the idea that they must rotate. I also only learned about rotating for 10 years. I wanted to rotate, but because my arms weren't moving forward, I couldn't. It looks like the pros are using their bodies like this, but I couldn't do it. But the reason is, when pros go up and hit the ball with just their arms, you don't realize how fast their arm speed is. I realized back then that because they matched their body to that fast speed, they got crazy distance. But I didn't pay attention to this arm at all. Couldn't do it. Keep it right here and just try to rotate my body. It won't even turn. I'm not flexible enough, and my lower back isn't strong enough to pull it down. That's why the body flips over. So you have to be able to use your arms correctly to truly rotate fast. You get what I mean, right? That's why arm movement is so important. Now, for the second question about getting blocked. Getting blocked ultimately happens when I try to use my body from this position and my left shoulder gets blocked like this. Now, if the arm clears from here, how is that blocked? In the same motion, if it's the same motion like this is completely blocked. But if the arm clears like this, then how is this blocked? It's not blocked.
But if I swing like that, why do they say you're scooping it?
Oh, why do they say you're scooping? Well, That's because you're using your hips too early. The body needs to support to some extent, and you need to extend with the downward force of the arm to turn the body correctly. But if you go up and try to hit the ball with only this force, you end up scooping it. Even if you use your arms here, it ends up like this. So trying to use your body too much on the downswing in the first place is the problem. Let's say, for example, I have a big heavy ball. When you try to throw a heavy ball, you don't try to throw it like this or like that. If you try to throw it from top to bottom, even if you don't consciously try to use your body that way, if you try to throw this ball hard, your body naturally tries to push against the ground. The key here is not the action of trying to push down, but if you try to throw this ball down hard, your body naturally does that. So even when I tell you to swing with your arms, you don't just stand there doing this. You're shifting your weight. So being able to maintain this allows you to use your body with this force, which is why I teach the arms first. In my opinion, being a good golf coach means given a 3-hour window. It's given to any pro and it's given to me. Within these 3 hours, how to convey that feeling to the person so they can walk away with it is very important. But saying, straighten your arms, relax your shoulders, keep your arms straight at impact, but don't raise your shoulders, I think this is too difficult. So first, relax, make it completely extreme to teach them even one thing like feeling the centrifugal force as the arms move. And then show them that rotating the torso from that feeling makes for a good rotation. You have to teach it extremely for them to even stand a chance of fixing it. That's why I teach it in an exaggerated way. And if you ask for the reason, it's exactly what I said today.
Subscribers come and show me saying they took a lot of lessons from you, Coach Heo, but they all understand it completely differently. But I was like that too. I relaxed my entire body. So when I did that, at the top, the club kept like this. Because I relaxed everything between my wrists, the club kept over swinging like this. And other pros would ask why I was swinging so loosely, saying I should keep my lower body stable instead of doing a hula dance like this. So back then I just thought, oh, he told me to do it this way. But that wasn't it. So what I realized later was that you weren't telling me to swing softly. You kept saying, keep letting it pass through, let the arms pass through quickly. It wasn't about relaxing everything, but relaxing here while swinging confidently here. But at first I thought I had to relax everything, so I did and kept hitting fat shots, which was quite frustrating.
That was a really good question, and our subscribers must be very confused too. My answer is, I actually did tell you to relax all your muscles. I really told you to just relax everything. Even your fingers and toes, relax everything. Why did I say that? Because if the ideal amount is 30, someone who has 300 of tension thinks they've relaxed enough, but they've only gone down to about 290. You have to relax to an unimaginable degree first. When I first learned this, I also hit the ball like... I really hit it like this. And while doing this, I finally learned it, that the arms need to pass through the top. I only learned it then. That was when I was at the 1-year mark, just like you, Hayden. Before that, even if you teach them to give and take, it never works. The arms have to be loose like this for it to work. If your arms are already stiff and your shoulders are raised, and in this state you're told to just relax your shoulders, it's too difficult. Relaxing the shoulders is the hardest part. Relaxing the legs is relatively easy. Relaxing the shoulders that are holding the club is the hardest thing in golf. So you have to relax everything. Once you relax everything, at first you'll swing completely loosely like this, and then you'll think, I'm swinging weirdly, but somehow it's making decent contact. And then at some point you'll start to feel the weight of the club head little by little. At first you don't feel it at all, but after a certain period, as you probably felt too, there comes a moment when you realize, this is the weight of the club head. Once you reach that point of feeling the club head weight, relax to some extent, and start hitting the sweet spot, that's when I teach you how to generate speed. This is the curriculum. Why?
So when I thought about it later, I realized, I had to relax like that back then to be able to do this now. But that's really hard to do. I know exactly how our subscribers feel. What was funny about what you just said is, it's not like, this feels right, but it's more like, do I really have to do this? First of all, you lose distance, and distance is everything to amateur golfers. You lose like 10 to 20 yards, and you keep slicing it. That makes you not want to practice at all.
Then what?
And it's like, how long do I have to keep doing this? Plus, everyone around you is like, why are you swinging like that? Every single person says something.
I'm getting goosebumps. I was the same way. Keep going.
I think that's why I was hesitating a bit too. But then you and I had a serious one-on-one and you said, if you keep this up, this is all I can teach you. Stop trying other things and just do what I tell you. So we made a promise and I did exactly that. But even after that, I was like, do I really have to do this? Even with those doubts, I kept going, just trusting you. But later, it finally clicked that you have to relax to actually use more power. At first, I was like, other pros don't tell me to do this, so why does he keep insisting? I have a round coming up and I'm slicing everything and losing distance.
When taking this lesson, I also had those thoughts. So I can feel exactly what you felt. The coach doesn't seem to swing with this much relaxation. So why is he making me do this? Does he not care about me? Is this even okay to do? I had those thoughts too. But I trusted my coach so much. He was a coach I really followed. So I did whatever he told me to do at first. My friends would mock me saying, why are you swinging like that? Why did your swing suddenly get so weird? After hearing all that, at some point, I also had an epiphany, got better, and had a total eureka moment. But the best thing about doing YouTube is that people trust me. When you're unknown and teach like this, they don't come. They don't come. Because they immediately say, this guy is no good. Here, as you've seen me teach, I'm practically begging them. Please trust me just once and do it. Then some people do and some just pretend to. Those who truly trust and follow me, I guarantee they will get better. Later, they really say golf has become so easy. They really do. But those who can't trust think it won't work. So the best thing about doing YouTube is that people have developed trust in me. So they listen to me a bit more and follow along with confidence. So relaxing is very difficult. It's actually really hard. And if there's one hardest thing in a golf swing, I think it's relaxing. If there was a medicine that could just make you relax, I'd buy it even for 10 million won. I really want to use it. I just wish they could experience it in my body once. I have to relax this much. Once they feel that, with that thrilling feeling of hitting it right with the club head weight, it's smooth sailing from there. So what I really want to ask of you is, unless you're going to quit golf, you'll have to start this motion all over again from scratch someday. Trying to build it without doing this is just creating a mere shape. Although you were a bit on the slower side, you kept working hard consistently. And in a way, you got your pro license with just that. You really didn't do anything else. We just kept relaxing, right? But this is really so important in golf. Looking at your swing lately, it has improved so much. And your distance too.
My average is 200 and on a good hit about 230.
Okay. Oh, good. In the end, these are all things that got better after relaxing. So you guys also need to relax somehow. You need to relax more than you think. And if you keep relaxing while constantly mind controlling yourself, I think so many things will really get better.
But letting go of that tension is really beyond imagination.
Beyond imagination.
Because you said you've seen it a lot and you show us. But when we practiced, we were just like, just relax your grip and hands completely. Just stand there like an old man. That's how we practiced. But everyone else is just standing there all tensed up. I've never seen anyone just standing there relaxed. So I realized we really have to stand there like an old man way more than we think, like to the extreme.
To learn how to swing by going into the backswing with everything completely loose and no tension at all, you really have to keep relaxing from the address. And when you go up to the backswing, if you're holding your breath, exhale once, relax and hit. If you keep repeating this, in the end, once you completely relax, I think increasing the distance after that isn't hard. I think this is something that many amateurs would be curious about today. Surely what Miriam asked was, as someone who took lessons from me, and I think our subscribers probably had a lot of these worries too. So today, I think you understood a bit more in detail why I have this mindset and why I give you these lessons. If watching the video is the way you really want to play golf well, as you slowly follow the lessons I do, at some point, you'll definitely think, this is it. Also, next time, if you guys leave a lot of comments Harem might be able to explain a lot of things that amateurs were curious about.
I'm living proof. Just trust him and follow along. You can do it.
Right. Then have a great day today too, and I'll see you in the next commute lesson. Thank you.
감사합니다.